Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's case I'm going to be talking to you about is a murder case of Jenna Baldwin. So this case is pretty close to home for myself. I think it's only about 15 minutes away from where I live and I have never ever heard of this case. So Jenna was believed to have disappeared from her Aberystwyth home on September the 10th. And as the weeks passed by, she made no contact with her family and her friends. 2 months after she was reported missing, police said that they are finding the search for the teenager very frustrating and were increasingly puzzled by her failure to get in touch, despite numerous appeals by them and her mother. Chief Inspector John Oliver, leading the investigation, said at the time, "As every day goes by, we become more concerned, and the fact that she has no contact made us more concerned. We still feel somebody out there must know something. Somebody that's not telling us something." She was reportedly last seen leaving her home in Fraud Road and with a mystery woman who could not be traced. Police arrested a 20-year-old Blanavon man and questioned him over Jenna's disappearance. He was then released without any charge. They have also carried out forensic searches at his house and at Jenna's home. A disturbing aspect of the case was revealed when it emerged that silent and whispering phone calls had been made to the family. Jenna's mum also received a number of text messages claiming to be from Jenna. From the family's new home in Pont Newydd, Mrs. Baldwin made an emotional appeal to her daughter. "We love you and miss you and want you to come home. I am so sorry that I didn't realise how unhappy you must have been, and I wish I listened harder." Police began searching the woodland near Jenna's home, and a dramatic development came when her stepfather, 36-year-old factory worker Michael Baldwin, was arrested. He was quizzed for a week before being charged with her murder. The search for Jenna continued. It now finally appears to be over. Mike Baldwin, aged 36, of Pontypool, South Wales, was found guilty by a jury at Cardiff Crown Court of murder of 15-year-old Jenna Baldwin. Sentencing Baldwin, Judge John Griffith Williams did not set a minimum term and said he would inform the Home Secretary at a later date. Speaking after the verdict, Jenna's mother, Desiree, said Baldwin had shown absolutely no remorse for the murder of her most precious and beautiful daughter. But she said Jenna's death would not be in vain, as her children could grow up without Baldwin in their lives. Baldwin had denied murder, claiming Jenna had accidentally fallen down the stairs at the family home in Aberystwyth, which is near Pontypool, during an argument. But the jury decided on the second day of deliberations that Baldwin had intentionally killed her and also buried her body on the mountainside near Blanavon. He also tormented his family with phone calls and text messages purporting to be from Jenna in an effort to make them believe that she was still alive. The jury of 8 men, 4 women took about 6 hours over a 2-day period to reach a verdict. "Short-tempered bully," the judge told Baldwin. "Only you know the precise circumstances of Jenna's death, and only time will tell if you are prepared to share your secret and so relieve your wife to whom you confess your love. You are an arrogant man, interested in getting your own way. You are short-tempered and something of a bully. It is likely there is some row between you during which Jenna may have been abusive to you. But I'm satisfied that you would have been just as abusive to her. The likelihood is that you lost your temper and then had strangled her. After that, you did not panic but made a clear and calculated attempt to cover it up, motivated entirely by self-interest. You have shown nothing but self-pity and not a trace of remorse for the death of a young and popular girl. Jenna would have grown out to be a rebellious phase of her life to fulfill a life full of promise." Detective Chief Inspector Jeff Renoane, who was in charge of the investigation, said after the verdict, "We should remember why we are here today. That a 15-year-old girl has lost her life and had it completely ripped away from her. The family can now at least begin to grieve. An extremely difficult year. Michael Baldwin has deliberately and cynically killed Jenna before then disposing of her body and deceiving her family in the worst possible way. Gwent Police would like to pay a tribute." And this is in which Desiree, Nigel Brookfield, and other members of Jenna's family have borne the pressures of the investigation and the trial. Without their persistence, we would not have been anywhere where we are today. Speaking about Baldwin, he added, "I think he is calculating, deceitful liar who is determined to try and cover his tracks and put his wife and his family through the most horrendous experience that can ever be inflicted on anyone, and I am pleased for them that he has been found guilty of murder." Mr. Ronanay said Baldwin would go to any lengths to get himself off the hook, even if that involved using a member of his family. Jenna first went missing in September 2002, but her body was not found for roughly 12 weeks until Baldwin revealed its location to the police in November. During the 7-week trial, Baldwin said he and Jenna had argued frequently and her death had come up accidentally after she pursued him up the stairs and he lashed out. He was driving her to the hospital and he panicked and buried her at the roadside. In court, the prosecution offered evidence to back its claim that the stairs and landing were too narrow for Jenna to have been knocked backwards in the way that Baldwin had claimed. The prosecution added that the idea of a 5'11", 15-stone judo expert feeling threatened by a 5'6", 15-year-old girl was absurd. Baldwin also made no attempt to revive Jenna. Despite being a qualified first aider, he did not summon help and told the jury that he did not double-check to see if she was dead before covering her grave. After burying Jenna, Baldwin bought a mobile, which he registered giving false details, and then sent a series of false text messages and made a hoax phone call to give his family and the police the impression that Jenna had in fact left home. Witnesses told the jury of at least 2 occasions when Baldwin was violent towards Jenna. Mum of a murdered schoolgirl says that she is very much devastated that her killer husband could be released from prison near her Pontypool home. Desiree Baldwin, whose 15-year-old daughter Jenna Brookfield was killed by her stepfather Michael in 2003, and originally been told that he would be relocated far away after his mandatory life sentence was completed. She has now been told about a parole board hearing could determine that he could serve his final few years in an open prison at Prescoid, where he could be reintegrated into the community. "A life sentence should mean life," Desiree told the South Wales Argus. "If we were in America, in some states, he would have received a death penalty. Simple as that. He has served just over a quarter of a life sentence, and yet he may be on free license soon. I don't think he has suffered much at all. He is a monster who took everything from me. I love Jenna more than anything." She was very bright and she would have been at least 26 right now. She probably would have had a family. It is beyond reason that he could be released at all, let alone around here. I am extremely worried about it. Also even took part in a television appeal calling for a safe return, and he then eventually revealed the spot in Blanarvan where he buried her body and was convicted of a murder at Cardiff Crown Court. His ex-wife not believe he doesn't have the right to set up home near them. "There's the potential for me and my family to see him, and if it was to happen, I fear I would end up facing life myself," she told the Argus. "That's how strongly I feel there would been a submit a victim impact statement to go before the parole board on the Monday when the case will be discussed. I lost my job, my home, everything, she said. I don't have a life anymore. I will never trust anyone again. He hasn't served a life sentence as far as I'm concerned. He won't even have served the number of years Jenna was alive before he took her from us. It just is unbelievable what he did. A parole board only directs and release for the life sentence prisoner if it is satisfied that it is no longer necessary for them to be detained in order to protect the public from serious harm. Spokesman said Mr. Baldwin's case has been referred to the parole board by a Secretary of State for Justice for consideration. A memorial is to be put up to a teenage murder victim, Jenna Baldwin, at her school. A former cellmate, Mark Dando, said that the 36-year-old Baldwin told him that he had been having an affair with Jenna and that the 15-year-old was pregnant. Dando, who was serving 5 years for attempted robbery, had told the jury that Baldwin demonstrated on him a chop to the neck, and this was with his hand. He wanted her to have an abortion, said Dando. She went mad. They started arguing. He was getting madder and madder, he said. Then he snapped and he hit her. At first, Dando said Baldwin had told him that he was the father of Jenna's unborn baby, but he later retracted the statement under cross-examination by Baldwin's counsel, Peter Murphy QC, who told the jury the defendant had a vasectomy. Gwent Police also said in a briefing that medical evidence showed Jenna was not pregnant. Detective Chief Inspector Jeff Renoir, who added to the investigation, said he was convinced that Dando's version of Baldwin's comments was what had been said to him, but he added that he could not say for certain that Jenna was having an affair with her stepfather and can only go on what happened that was presented in the evidence. He said it is very difficult to comment, especially without having any evidence before me. Baldwin himself denies in court that there was anything sexual happening between himself and the teenager, and said that they could not stand each other. As the police inquiry progressed, it became increasingly clear to police that Baldwin was a violent personality. A school friend of Jenna told police that she had seen Baldwin push Jenna down the stairs during an argument. Okay, so there is a few things that I noticed during the documentary of this case, and there is a mentions that there was some type of secret that was being withheld between the stepfather and the daughter, and loads of people saying like on you like she was pregnant, she was having an affair. But I'm going to be doing a necrophonic app to see what actually, well, not actually, but what could possibly be the reasoning behind what happened to her. So I'm going to try and do a necrophonic just to see what comes out. Okay. Angels, guides, spirit guides, archangels, and the divine white light, please come forward and help me with some communication. And this is for Jenna Baldwin's murder. Okay then, so Jenna Baldwin was only 15 when she had got murdered by her stepdad. It is believed that there was some sort of secret that was being withheld within Jenna and her stepfather. Can you try and tell us what that secret was, please? What secret did Jenna Baldwin wanted to tell her mother about her stepfather? What is the main reason behind the murder of Jenna Baldwin? How did her stepfather kill her? What really happened to Jenna Baldwin? What did her stepdad do to her? What's very important that happened that her family needs to know to let her mother get justice, to let her mother get some peace of mind over what actually happened to her daughter? Who is this woman or girl that Jenna was hanging out with that no one could trace? What's her name? What important information can you tell us about what happened to Jenna, why her stepfather did what he did to her, and who this female was that Jenna was hanging around with, and any other important information that needs to be known. Did Jenna and her stepfather have an affair? Is there any last words you'd like to say now regarding what happened to Jenna? It is said that at some point Jenna had been taking narcotics. Is that true? The couple of days where just before Jenna had gone missing, she had been with another female and she was not seen for a good couple of days before she come back. Where was she and who was she with in that time frame where she wasn't contacting her mum? Where was she and who was she with? At that time, did her stepdad know exactly where she was? If Jenna Baldwin could hear this now, what would she say to her mum?
What? Do you think? Darling.
If Jenna Baldwin could hear this now, from your voice, could you tell us what this secret was all about? Okay, thank you for your information. Goodbye. Okay then, so that is the case of Jenna Baldwin. If there is anything that you can hear during this session, please comment in the comment section below. I'd love to see comments. And let's hope that her mother does get justice for what happened to her daughter, because is a horrendous thing that actually happens. No mother, no human should ever experience what her mum have experienced. I really hope that where Jenna is, she is at peace and she's in the light and she's with the angels. So my love goes out to her family and her friends. But yeah, so that is the end of Jenna Baldwin's murder case. Until next time, everyone, take care. Bye bye.